So I'll separate the two, the transfer panel on the transfer panel side. Probably one of the biggest differentiators between us and another competitor is that we hold 2 patents, one on the nozzle design and 2 on the manufacturing method to use that nozzle to build the panel. The apparatus or that nozzle is designed in such a way that it takes away any deformation or heating that's going to go on in the way that we manufacture that panel and set that nozzle into the structure itself. In addition, it also helps us when we get into mixing alloys together. So you get into super alloys like AL6XN or C22. We have specialized weld procedures of joining dissimilar metals or a higher alloy to a 300 series stainless metal. And so we seal weld those together to minimize any heat distortion, deflection, and those kind of things. Both of these patents help justify and support why we do the methodology the way we do to bring overall integrity into that structure and that panel design. Utility stations, what separates us, I think, the flexibility. No utility station is just one common setup or one common design. There's always uniquenesses on any manufacturing suite that a customer might need, these utilities that are brought in. The structures can be designed in such a way to be ergonomic for the user, flexible based on data, power, utility services that are all going into these structures. Overall design layout, in consideration for some of these shut-off valves, connection points, the point of use applications where the dry disconnects go in and so forth are all taken into consideration. So I think overall the design of the way we lay these panels out, even the way that we actually create some of the mounts, if it's going to be a ceiling mounted one, a wall mounted one, if it needs to be recessed, flush mounted, or a pendulum style dropping right out of the ceiling, all of those are taken into consideration with different designs. Yeah, so CGMP, good manufacturing practices we uphold to, as well as in your common industry standards, even from a food, dairy, beverage might be a 3A application, all the way to as stringent as an ASME BPE. ASME BPE has a complete transfer panel section within SD, and we comply with all of those sections in regards to design and fabrication of that piece of equipment. All of our welders are actually certified and tested to ASME Section 9 of the Boiler Pressure Vessel Code. So we're talking about different weld or WPS weld procedures, procedure qualification records, where we're using weld thickness as well as I guess arrangement of how that weld is done. They're all pre-certified on that and held continuity log. So if that welder hasn't been performed or that weld joint hasn't been performed over a certain period, we'll re-qualify them under that. So not only does it help us with weld joints and the weld makeup, but the weld procedure. And that's both done with an automatic orbital weld as well as hand welding. So for super alloys, the way I look at it, and that is the AL6XN and the C22. First of all, from an inventory standpoint, we have stock and availability of both tubing products as well as fittings. In addition, we have all the raw materials, so plate stock, bar stock. And what that allows us to do is we can actually design or engineer any kind of customized componentry, machine it, weld it, what have you, based on the application for that particular panel. The integration to it as well is when you get into nozzle design for transfer panels, we can actually build specialty nozzles based out of this specialized material while integrating our weld procedures that we can to be able to join that into the structure itself. So on the utility panels, it's really important to always get the operator, as well as the transfer panel, the operator. These are point of use applications, so this equipment is being used as a point of use for an operator to interact with this piece of equipment. So it's always important to get their input based on ergonomics and things that they have, things of desires that they want to be able to see as they function with this, or integrate or operate with this equipment. In addition, we also take into consideration maintenance. Looking at some of these panel designs behind me with the utility panels, we look at way of being able to assemble that line for high maintenance items, if you will, pressure regulators that need to be taken out and maintained. We don't actually have those welded into the system, taking maintenance into mind as well. So I would say some of those things, it's limitless in that case because the operator and how that functionality between to interact with that piece of equipment. On utility panels itself, you can go to a recess design, pulling those utilities into the wall space, maximizing the actual manufacturing space out there on the floor. Two is You could also look at incorporating drip pans or sampling ports or sampling funnels in that case to eliminate any splashing or any kind of contamination that might drip out onto the actual manufacturing floor. Those kind of features. The way that we actually fabricate, there's machining or laser cutting technology that we can, all of that being done in the preformed stage before we actually form the sheet metal together, allows very accurate hole size as well as position size. So overall, the structural design, the layout, the integrity of that whole panel itself, having those other capabilities allows us to bring more integrity into that piece of equipment. So when you look at panels or transfer panels, I'll say that we've been building transfer panels since 1979. So we build more than thousands and thousands every year. The design has evolved. Of course, we talked about the patented designs that we have with our nozzle and our manufacturing method. But how we take it is we build the integrity into the panel itself and how we construct it from the machinability aspects of it. We take almost a machinist trait by all of our transfer panels because the flatness tolerances and the center to center tolerances are so important to the integrity and the operation of that panel on a transfer panel. As of utility stations, the part of the design that I always liked is we put our personality into it. In essence, we look at what the customer's asking us to do. We look at our fabrication capability, blend the two together, and actually make that actually come from an idea to an actual completion. And having a fixed result of being able to say, these are the things that we look for in a utility panel supplier. So on the transfer panel, on the patented spool design and manufacturing method, it's really about how much heat we can actually keep displaced around welding that nozzle into that structure. And so with that, because anytime you add heat into a stainless, you got a lot of deflection, warpage, those kind of things we have to take into consideration. One, how we design it, two, how we weld it together. And there's specific weld procedures on how we actually weld those nozzles in, what we call a seal weld or an autogenous seal weld. It doesn't have any filler, but we minimize as much heat as possible. That all comes into play on how we incorporate not only our patented nozzle design, but into our manufacturing methodology as well. We appreciate you having the opportunity to always work with any end user. And if you ever have the opportunity to be able to work with us, we would love to partner with you on not only your transfer panel and the design and the manufacturing of it, as well as utility stations, the way we can help lay out and build that unit for your system.